What's up, y'all, and welcome back to the next episode of Sports Talk with a Lions fan. And this time, I got my dog with me. We don't
What up,
come
though?
one, but many times tiny. So on this one, I got my dog Professor Curt Steel, the world-renowned Professor Curt Steel, joining me, and we gonna talk about some things that happened with that man Taylor Decker, or just the Taylor Decker situation as a whole. Some more information that's came out, and I just want to talk shit about him. I want to diss him a little bit, throw a couple cuss words his way. But of course, if you guys like seeing us together over here on my high, go ahead and hit that like button. So, Curt, I probably should have gave you a much better introduction over here, but everybody should know exactly who you are. This is, the man that had a hand in ushering me onto this side of the things, man. Him and that man, Jim Bordeaux. We lost him a few years ago. But no, my dog Curt, man, he's been keeping this thing going, and he knows it all from front to back when it comes to the Lions. So he don't like to cuss at people like I do. So that's why I want him here to, give me a little bit of balance. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, of course, everybody knows, at least the Detroit Lions fans understand the situation with former left tackle Taylor Decker. Toward the end of last year, or at the end of last year, he was seen crying at his locker, saying that he may not be able to play football anymore, talking about how bad his shoulders hurt and how he wants to, be able to live a good life, or a good rest of his life with his kids and for his kids. And ain't nothing wrong with that. There's not a thing wrong with that. But a few months after that, he was like, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe my shoulders don't hurt so bad, or maybe I don't care about being home with Junior so much. So I want to come back. And it seems as though the Lions was like, okay, but do you really? Because you was just crying and stuff. So just to make sure, and you wasn't necessarily you ain't been yourself recently. So you can come back, but we're not gonna want to pay you as much as you were getting previously. And then Taylor Decker said, you know what? Please release me because I would like to come back at the price that he was previously, I suppose. And one detail I forgot, he retired. He actually did retire, right? Or put out the message that he retired, and then he came back. So my apologies for messing up that timeline, but um. Yeah, so now we land here, and in these interviews, more recent interview, Dan Campbell spoke about possibly moving Penei Sewell over to left tackle, and at least personally, that's my preference. I would like to see that because I think that's probably the best option in the draft or otherwise. At left tackle would be the best offensive lineman in the game, right? So, but Taylor Decker, I guess, recently did an interview with Justin Rogers, and spoke with Justin Rogers, and Justin Rogers was with Herman Moore recently, and they were just talking about the whole situation and the thing that got us here. The whole thing that got us here
Yeah.
was and this, maybe it's just Justin Rogers' way of reporting it, but allegedly, per Justin Rogers, he says, Taylor Decker says that toward the end of last year, or whatever it was, at the exit interviews, the organization, I don't know if he said Brad himself, but the organization expressed interest in bringing Taylor Decker back. And he said, but, they said that, we know you're not going to want to take a pay cut.
Mm-hmm.
And allegedly, per Justin Rogers, Taylor Decker was like, okay, well, if I come back, they're going to give him all my money. And then that's got us where we at today because he thought that somehow, some way, he should still get that money. I don't know what anybody deserves. I really don't like to be the one, saying who deserves what. But I kind of feel like, hey, how did you even get there, dog? So I
Yeah.
talked a whole lot. So Kurt, please,
Yeah.
how you feeling about all this, and
I,
fill us
I,
in if I missed something.
I watched the interview. Oh, I don't think he ever retired, but I think he was just kind of like on the fence. But well, when he said he was coming back, I'm like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying? But for him to, what's that? Never assume because you make an ass out of you. Like to assume, like when he said the Lions told him, you're not gonna want to take a pay cut. That should have been like, okay, what are you saying to me if I'm not gonna if you want me to take a pay cut? Are you because And it came up in an interview about Graham Glasgow. Like they asked him to take a pay cut. He said no. They kept him on the roster. But Graham Glasgow and what he made and what Taylor Decker was going to make, that's a whole different, you know what I'm saying, ball court. You know what I'm saying? Where Taylor Decker, he's a left tackle. He's making a considerably lot more money than Graham Glasgow, which is a backup guard, you know what I'm saying, or a guard or, you know, backup center. He's not making that much money. And for him to assume that the Lions are going to bring him back at the full price that he was asking for is just asinine. I mean, just to be honest with you, like you didn't have a great season. You were hurt most of the year. Couldn't practice most of the year. You were doing the Calvin Johnson thing where you kind of like did walkthroughs and then, you know, played on Sunday for most of the time during the season. The games that you did play, you didn't practice most of the year. And you were a shell of yourself in 2025. Like you weren't the Taylor Decker. I mean, like, and I'm not saying that Taylor Decker, you know, saying was just all world tackle. Like I don't think he ever made all pro. He was a, you know, pro bowler here and there, but you know, he was never an all pro tackle like the guy that's on the other side of the line who's pretty much been an all pro since he's been in the league. Bruh, like, what are you thinking? Like, like, I don't understand your thought process. You think the Lions is going to pay you the full asking price because you say you're not going to want to take a pay cut. They weren't saying that to say, oh, yeah, you ain't going to take a pay cut, but we still want you back. They say we want you back, but you ain't going to, you know what I'm saying, we know you're going to take a full, you know, you ain't going to take a pay cut. We're not going to pay you full price if you want to come back. We want you back. Come back. But if you do come back, you know what I'm saying, you're going to take this haircut for these dollars, you know what I'm saying? So I don't get his thinking, man. You tripping on this one, man. Like, and you know, we've had a couple conversations about the Lions, and you know what I'm saying, I think they were totally justified in this situation. I don't think they were totally justified in the Frank Ragnow situation. That's a whole different story. But for this one, yeah, you should have accepted a haircut if you wanted to come back. And my thing is like to him, it's just to me, it just makes him look even worse. Like for me, like now
that's what I was saying. That's
like
I don't think Justin Rogers didn't help him as much as he thought he did.
Nah, Frank Ragnow, yes. Him, absolutely not. Like, bruh, like, what are you thinking? Like, I don't know how you assume that. Like, I don't get it, man. And then to be like, oh, now the Lions ghosted me, and you know what I'm saying? And oh, Hank Fraley, okay, you gotta remember, like, Hank Fraley doesn't have the same amount of responsibility that he had when he was your position coach.
Now he's put me on. I don't. What did he say about Frank? What did he say about Hank Fraley?
Well, Justin Rogers said that Hank, you know, he was his position coach, and he was one of the guys that went to back for Hank for him to stay on the coaching staff, and you know, yada yada, and you know what I'm saying, and to him not to hear from Hank. Well, you gotta look at Hank Fraley's responsibility and with what's going on with the coaching staff. Like, he's the run game. He's not just the offensive line coach anymore. He's the run game coordinator. He's meeting with Drew Petzing. It's a lot of moving pieces right now with the Detroit Lions. And for him to like single that guy now, it was like, well, he was my, you know, the mentor, didn't reach out to the pupil and the guy who went to bat for him. Because I remember when Terry Decker went to bat for him when the previous offensive line coach I guess left, and he was politicking to get Hank Fraley the position, but you know, that wasn't, you know, players can ask all they want to. It's going to be up to the ownership and the coaching staff to make those decisions. I mean, I get it being like if he didn't get hired as an offense, were you going to like quit or something like that? I don't get like, yeah.
I think he could have just left that part out. Like that
it's just a lot of, to me, it just made it seem like it's a whole bunch of whining going on from Taylor Decker, man. Like you tripping, bro. Like it's one thing if you had performed last year at a high level and you earned the money that you're seeking. Like you play well below that contract standard. Not like Frank Ragnow, who played above the contract standard. You like, and you when you don't retire and you get the team to release you, you keep all that money. So whatever money that you were guaranteed, you're gonna keep, except for the the kind of the stuff that's not guaranteed.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I keep hearing people say that. Like that was the
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing. I'm not so sold on that whole Graham Glasgow stuff. Because again, per Justin Rogers, he was like, "Oh, they asked him for a pay cut, and he told him fuck off." I don't know. When did they ask for this pay cut and all this other stuff? This last year, after Frank Ragnow retired. Of course, yeah, maybe I don't know if the story went that way, but maybe it's like, we need a center. So maybe
I
we
think
can't.
that may have been probably different circumstances, and he probably
I don't.
If his role was going to be increased, I can see them backing off, saying, "Hey, okay, all right, bro. We good, we'll pay you."
This year, but if it's this year, I don't think they asked him for. I don't think they
said anything to him. I think it was like,
we cutting you, Jack.
Yeah, they released him with a medical designation. Man, I don't think I think it was clear that he wasn't going to be back on the roster this year.
Right, but I'm not sold on the whole Graham Glasgow thing. But the thing about, like I said, I keep hearing people say that make them cut you so you get your money. Make them cut you so you get your money. Mm-hmm. So if you are saying this out loud on TV,
I mean, it's just I guess
it's one of them things. Is like if I had a girlfriend, if I'm in a podcast talking about how I cheat, it's like she's going to know now, and the next guy she's probably going to watch harder at the thing. If I start telling all the all this shit, all I'm saying is the other side is going to have a way to play you too. If you think you playing them, they're going to have a way to play you. So it's just going to be that fight, I guess, and that's what we're seeing. At some level.
And I think the situation with the Lions and it's just the bad optics when you have these. Just because you did it in the past doesn't mean you should do it right now. You know what I'm saying? You should continue to, like, two wrongs don't make a right, and you keep doing something the wrong way doesn't
right.
Does it? Yeah.
To get to that part of it, it's just bad. It's bad business, and it's just bad business practices. It's like, and I hate that because it's now, like I had asked I'm starting to hear or see more athletes just over the week in these podcasts talking about similar situations. One of my man, Shaquille from the Colts a few years ago, the dog ass all pro linebacker.
Oh yeah,
was talking about how they did him, and they was talking about how he saw them do Andrew Luck. So,
like they gave Andrew that, and that's the thing. Like,
they ended up giving him his money, but he was like, either you gonna do this or you out. Yeah, basically. So hey, come here on this day or goodbye, brother. And that's even though he got his, it's like, dang, in a way, right?
Yeah, and I remember that. I remember watching that was a tense situation, man. Like Andrew Luck's on the sidelines, like I think it was like a preseason game or something like that. And then it came out that he's retiring, and like the crowd is booing.
He did some mess. Yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that. But
it was wild. But you look at the situation with Rags, man. And like okay, it's a 1.5 million. That's not a lot. That's not a lot to the organization. Not for Frank Ragnow. Could that be a lot? No, but you can prorate that, man. Like you look at the salary cap right now. Really, that's a league minimum contract. Are you really going to damage your relationship with a legend on your team for something that's not really like that much of you? Now, when back on Barry Sanders, yeah, because the salary cap wasn't that. The salary cap was a lot lower, and then times are different. But like Calvin Johnson and Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, you're looking at where you have this minuscule part of the cap, and for you to just be like, hey, I'm gonna take this back, bruh, these guys outperform their contract, man. Like, and people will keep saying, well, if I had a job, or what I'm saying, and I signed up for this contract and it's his business, and I got a signing bonus, and I didn't do the 6 months on this job, bruh. You can't correlate what they do as athletes to what you would do at a regular job. It's just not the same thing.
And everybody just be saying shit because everybody talk tough until it's time to be tough. And that's
Mm-hmm.
when you see. So it's the craziest stuff I ever seen, Kurt. I promise you, in any aspect you want to look at, whether it be
Yeah.
something good, bad, or indifferent, I ain't gonna put no context around that. But you start seeing people, and they all have the same look on their faces, and it's the
Mm-hmm.
same shoulder shrug. It's like, so I don't. People just say stuff sometimes. Is what I want to
It's
say. So all these people
yeah.
just speaking, talking because they got lips, as Uncle Hussey used to say. But I don't. The thing about, especially with Taylor Decker, to get back on that part is,
Mm-hmm.
you got released. Like, again, to get back to that, y'all got y'all way to get back, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
is make them release you, get your money. So you got your money. You know what I'm saying? Go, like, you got what you wanted. You know, so you
Yeah.
go do whatever else in the world you want to do now. Go sign with somebody else, since they, you know what I'm saying, since you can still play. Like, that's the, if you so want, if you are viewed as, and I shouldn't say it, because there's still players out there who I think can play that ain't been signed yet. But I do
Mm-hmm.
believe the circumstances are a little bit different with Taylor Decker, because don't nobody want him. And that's the thing, I think he finally realizing that. Don't nobody want you. And in the sense of football, you know what I'm saying? In the
Mm-hmm.
sense of football. But
Mm-hmm.
don't nobody want you, dog. Like, that's, it's time to move on. You had moved on at one point. At least it
Mm-hmm.
seemed you did,
Yeah.
when you was telling us about how bad your shoulders hurt and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't, do your shoulders still hurt? Has he said anything about that? Like, all of this shit we heard from him.
Nah,
Has he
I
said
don't
anything? Do
think
his
so.
shoulders hurt yet? Can he go out and play with his kids still? Or is all of this just for, hey, talk about me today?
I'm looking at this situation. I'm still like, bruh, you asked to be let go. They let you go. You didn't. I think you. I think one thing, and this has been said by other people. I think he priced himself out. Like, you priced yourself. Are you now? You overvalue your services in this league, and the price that you wanted for your services was well above what your your actual value is as an NFL left tackle. You're older. Your injury history, like, and like last year wasn't your best work. And for you to think that the Lions or any other team were going to pay you that much money is, like I said, asinine. Like, do you really did think that was going to be the case, bro? You tripping? Like, I
Is
don't.
you
Yeah.
said it before, and it's a tale as old as time. He
Mm-hmm.
fucked around
And
and
found.
found, and now he finding out. So that's, I mean, do you got any, was you got any more else on Frank Ragnow or Taylor Decker or Graham Glasgow or
Yeah.
Justin
For
Rogers?
uh. Yeah. Shout out Justin Rogers, man. When I first started podcasting, man, that dude was the first person I ever interviewed in the Lions media, man. Good guy. Um. And I think that, you know, I think he was spot on with the Ragnow thing, man. We're like, I just think it's bad optics for the organization. To be honest with you, I'm glad Rod Wood is leaving the organization because I don't like his optics at all. Um, you know.
So I'm kind of mixed on Rod Wood, right? Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, fuck him, I guess. And then
Mm-hmm.
especially like with some of this, yeah, you could see why somebody like, yeah, I don't like that dude. I
Mm-hmm.
watched a couple of his little, his. I guess it might have been the same thing, but just chopped up a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I can see where where people could feel that way, but he worked for the organization and he don't do nothing. Like, I don't think he a rogue officer. Like, he like,
Oh, no,
I'm
no, no,
gonna
no,
cut Taylor Decker. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Ha ha! Y'all can't stop
no.
me. So y'all, I
I
think I think
I
he's just a
was
finger to point at for a lot of people.
I think I just think that the way that the way that he comes off as you should know, like, your personnel, like, you should know, like, this guy, the way he speaks may not be what we're saying. It's sometimes not what you say, is how you say it. And, like, for him,
Right,
it's
right.
just, it comes off very arrogant and very, like, this, us against them, like the Lions organization versus the players. And, like, the way that he comes off is very combative. So, saying, I wish it would have been somebody else in front of the mic, you know what I'm saying, speaking for the organization. I still don't think it was right, but it could have been said differently, you know, or it could have been like, hey, we spoke to his agent. I know this story just came out, and we've already talked to Frank and his agent, and it was never any bad blood between the organization and Frank. He understood the situation, yada yada. But it was never that. It was like, well, this is the Lions' money. It wasn't never his money, yada yada. And it was like, come on, man, you could have handled that even better. Like, we don't care who it is, you could take the money back. Like, right, like,
and that's what I mean. Like, I can see why. I can see, what I'm saying.
You're turning people off from the organization. Like, that's why I'm kind of glad he's leaving. Like, his demeanor for me, he was never a football person. Like, he was a business guy who came over to be the president of the organization, man. And I'm kind of just I want somebody with some type of football acumen to be in that position. In most teams, their team president has some kind of football background, and the Lions for many years have going back to William Clay Ford, they kind of like always kind of hired these outside individuals, friends and buddy hired and stuff like that, people who aren't from familiar with football or anything like that, to come in and be part of the organization, man. Like, I never liked him in that position, man. Like, hey, man, go worry about the stadium. Go worry about what the menus are at the stadium, hot dog sales, whatever it is.
He should have been asked, excuse me for the sirens in the background, because Pontiac, but somebody should have asked him, why ain't no Coney dogs on the menu? And I don't want to I would complain about the price of pizza, but man, that pizza in the stadium pizza is the best to me. Like the Little Caesars pizza at Ford Field and at Comerica Park. I don't have an Italian grandmother, but if that's who make good pizza, they got one of them on the staff. That is at the ballparks. But yeah, some fuck Rob Wood is all I wanted to say that for.
But yeah, but like for Rags, man, I think the Lions could have, that's something that minuscule amount of money isn't what's best for the organization, man, because the optics are just horrible with that, man. Because you're going to turn off free agents, because you're going to see them, it's supposed to be a family, and this is what how we go out there and we kill ourselves for you, because saying you are for our coach and for the city, and this is how you're going to treat us on the back end, like,
right.
And so, then like
go ahead.
And they were talking about the Carlton Davis contract.
That's what I was gonna say. That's exactly where I was gonna go, dog. That's crazy. Like, I wish Coach Mike was on here. That is crazy.
The money was similar, but the back end of all the voided years, and how they can get players off the books, that's going to catch up with you eventually. Like, Carlton Davis is like, look, man, I want to stay in Detroit, but the contract at that back part of it, where they
now it make more sense, because how he was saying, like, it's only this much total, this much da da da. That's why I said Coach Mike should be here for that one. But how he spoke so eloquently about that, and it's like, now it makes sense. But we've been saying that though, because they target certain players, injured ones, and the contract is probably the best contract that they see in front of them, even if it does have a lot of fluff on the back end. But even the bigger contracts, like, not even a player, not to say it's not a big contract, but Kirby Joseph contract, that's the biggest safety contract in the league, but it's
backloaded. And
crazy how it's spread out. So.
And they can get out of it. They can get out of it without really huge cap hits for them.
Now we see why. Yeah. But that's but again, I don't like it. I don't agree with that way of doing it, I guess. But even, I think, what if that's just NF? I think that might be NF. Some NF. No, maybe I can't say that, because, like you said, he went over to the Patriots, and the Patriots was like, okay, they had the deal was better. It was just a better deal. So it just
it wasn't as the guarantees were. The money was similar, but it was just more guaranteed, especially on the back end of the contract, where you didn't have all these voided years, and that was the problem with Alexander Anzalone. Like, that back end of his contract last year, they had to restructure where they made it more guaranteed. That was his problem last year. Was saying the Lions were like, then my guaranteed money is gone. So that's what their Lions are doing with their contracts, where they're giving these big deals, but the the guarantees are small and they're at the beginning of the contract, and the big paydays at the end are in voidable years where they can get you off the books easy.
Right. But Alexander Loney got to shut the hell up. I'm tired of hearing him already. The first one, he was the one out there tweeting, "Oh, yeah, doing it. Shut the hell up." He like one of them people. It's a meme out there where they say like on Facebook, it's one dumb hoe and then there's 13 dumb hoes in the comments saying exactly. So I'm not saying nobody's no dumb hoe, but this is Alexander Loney in the comments saying exactly. So he should just shut up. Like he comment on everything now. They didn't do you like that. I don't know if they did you like that, but I feel like the situation is a little bit different for what you just said. Like
yeah, I just think that the Lions and Disney, like they're making these contracts, and it's a smart business on their part, absolutely, because the players are signing the contract, the ones that are agreeing.
But it seems to be bad. Right, it might be smart for them, but it's bad business. Just
it's
overall.
bad optics overall, and like a player like Carlton Davis, where he was with Detroit one year, and next year he's in the Super Bowl. Not saying he didn't win it, but he's in the Super Bowl with the Patriots on a similar deal. Like I beat the table. I beat the table of plenty of time. I wanted him back, and I didn't want DJ Reed.
That's what I'm going to say. It wasn't necessarily for Carlton Davis. It was against DJ Reed.
I didn't want DJ Reed, man. That dude can't have two shrimps on the same in the same backfield, man. In the defensive backfield, can't
two
do
shrimps
it, man.
on the same Barbie, huh? You ain't gonna get full that way. But so but we'll go ahead and wrap that up about all of that. And I still didn't do what I wanted to do. I was gonna cuss a whole lot about Taylor Decker, but I feel like that you ain't want me to do that, so I won't do that today. Okay. But let's before we got here, a quick double feature, a bonus one for you. Let's talk about that draft. We are less than a month away. We are in the month of the draft. It's at the end of this month. What is it, the 25th or something like that?
The 23rd.
The 23rd. Even sooner than that. So, Detroit Lions currently have the 17th pick in the first round and 50 in the second round. So that's two top 50 picks. There's a lot of speculation about what they're gonna do. Even on I've said that I think not Kurt, what's his name? Brad Holmes might be in line to do something crazy. I think he might trade up, or it's rumors that a player like Caleb Downs might slide. So I think it's gonna be something like that. One of them, and I'm gonna give a couple names, and then I want to ask you a question, and I want to give you a would you rather. But I'm gonna say if one of these names slide, Brad gonna pounce on him. And that's not saying that he's a genius, because I think anybody with good sense would do that. But if Bain, what if I'm saying it right? Malaga, Bain, the defensive end, Malaga, the offensive lineman, both from the U, and Caleb Downs. If either three of those guys slide to about 13 or wherever, first question, I think he'll make a move. Do you think that he will make a move for either of those players?
Yeah, I think he move up for Bain. I think he move for Bain. Like that guy's a game wrecker, and he's more experienced because you look at him. He's not a young player. You know what I'm saying? Like he spent a lot of time in college, so he don't got
a young player hairline either. So as a gentleman who's hairline challenged, I feel like I could speak on his hairline too.
Yeah.
But do you care about his arm length? Because that's the only thing everybody talk about. They can't. I just made a joke about his hairline, and that's the only thing else that they talk about.
It's the same thing with the young fella from Texas A&M. Oh, his arms. They said the same thing about Hutch. This is the exact same thing about Aiden Hutchinson.
I don't remember that part, but if they did, then I never.
Yeah.
The only thing that I guess if you want to say, I was like, dang, because now it's that stat out there. It was like no player with these shorter arms has done X, Y, Z. So it's like, damn. But I don't know. I wouldn't mind either of those gentlemen. Even though I'm on the Miles Frazier bandwagon. But so you got anything else? Go ahead.
The player, if you want to now this is just me. If you want to make a splash and you want to make a splash, the splashy is all the splash, you move up and you get Sonny Styles. You move all the way up as far as you can and get Sonny Styles.
Now, Curt, this is the second time you didn't call Mr. Styles' name. So
that is, man, you know me, I'm a Wolverine through and through. But that damn Sonny Styles can ball. And then what he did in the combine is like, it's one thing that with his athletic score, you know, his RAS or whatever, what he did at the combine. But you compare that with his tape, former safety, you know, he can cover, you know, he can hit, he's fast, that dude's a thumper, and he's so athletic. Man, that's my dream pick for
that will be but I don't think he gonna slide at all. I don't.
Nah, I think he's gonna be number 2 overall pick.
He might have to. What's my man who got found with the bong mask on? He got to do something like that.
Yeah,
and he still might go third. That's
you talking about? He might Larry Tunsil.
Yeah, only thing that could keep him out the top 10 is he come out and hit the pipe in front of somebody. But he could roll a blunt someplace right now, on live right now, and he go third. Like I said, he'll slide to fourth. That's how crazy
slide. Yeah, but that dude right there, man. If with the exit of a guy that we, you know, we just talked about a little bit ago, man, we need that coverage linebacker, and he's probably the best all-around linebacker in the draft. Coverage skills, you know, downhill tackling, speed, you know, he can run from sideline to sideline, man. That dude is just a monster, and he's just athletic freak. So, but if you asking me out of those 3 players that you named, I will go for Ruben Bain or Down. I like Downs too, man. I like Downs.
I like Caleb Downs. I think he could just play football, man. Like it ain't. I like Sonny Styles too, but I like it's
because
go ahead.
You can do more with a play with BB if you bring in Downs. Yeah, you can do more with BB.
He would fit here extremely well, but it's just he can just play football. Like it ain't a thing. Oh, he's positionless and blah blah. I get all that stuff, but it's remember just when you was outside playing football on the side of the house or wherever y'all used to play gather and play football. It's just that's the dude who would do it all. He was real. He just a real good football player. But the would you rather is, let's see, let's at 17 and 50, right? At 17, would you rather them trade back from 17 and take a defensive lineman, or trade up in the second round and take a defensive back?
Up in the second round, take a defensive back.
Do you have a name out there that you would trade up from 50?
The only one I wouldn't trade for to go is Pons out of Indiana. Love his game, but
he's too tight.
Too short.
I got a name for you, and it's a popular name now.
What's up?
If he there, because you see, I don't know about the draft predictions or whatever, but his name is going from first round to anywhere, I guess. But if it seems as though that's what they might need to do, and he's on the board, I'm gonna say a player like Bud Clark. And the first thing I heard about Bud Clark, and it was not from Lions fans, was this guy's just like Lions safety Kirby Joseph. Like I said, that's from just
I've heard that name. Like he's a ball hawking safety. You know what I'm saying? He got good range.
He can play.
Yeah.
So if that's my name at 50, or trading up or whatever it is at 50.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because that secondary, man, we just in so much flux right now, and with both of those guys being hurt, you don't know when they're going to come back. I think that Branch is going to at least miss at least four games in the first 4 games of the season. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's going to be start on the pup list. You might get Kirby early, maybe maybe he may start the season fine, but I think Branch is going to at least miss 4 games.
Well, on this Easter Saturday, I'm going to say that what if he prepares that Achilles heel, man, we find out that Brian Branch is also Adrian Peterson's half cousin. He heals super duper quick, and he gonna be out
Mhm.
there week 1 to slap the hell out of somebody. But I thank you, Curt, man. Thank you for setting up. What just talk about Easter and the Lord. Look at that. My light went out. So that's him saying it's time to get up, guys. So thank you, Curt, for sitting down. Please let them know where you can find you at.
Of course, man. You can find me and L and Mike over on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. Y'all see that royal, that Regal Lion, man. That's what we get down at over there. So make sure you hop on over there and check us out, man, because you know how we get down, man. We bossing up all the time and hitting that blade dance. So that's what we do over there, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Again, thank you, Curt, for sitting down, man. Thank all y'all for watching this, and I see y'all in